This is a recording of my conversation with Vernon Bobb, Managing Director at Clary, a leading revenue operations platform. We discuss how Clary helps sales organizations with forecasting, pipeline management, and analytics. We cover success stories and impact, and end with the most important changes in behavior among sales professionals using Clary during lockdown and beyond. I'm talking to Vernon Bobb, Managing Director at Clary. Clary is a revenue operations platform that works on top of the CRM and other systems and uses AI to help revenue professionals get full visibility of the funnel. Vernon, welcome. Please introduce yourself and Clary.
Hello, thank you very much for having me today. My name's Vernon Bobb, as you said, Managing Director for Clary in EMEA. Clary is a revenue operations platform, and we aim to make revenue operations more connected, more efficient, and more predictable.
To start our conversation a bit broader, where do you see the most interesting opportunities for AI to help sales professionals?
That is a good question, and it's no surprise. I would say that it was in forecasting. Before I joined Clary, I spent a month researching all the machine learning AI companies in the world in sales tools and technologies. I read every review of every company on G2. I researched all the companies on Crunchbase, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, Glassdoor. There is a whole host of opportunity out there. And when I think about forecasting and revenue operations, that is the perfect place for machine learning and AI. We've all worked with amazing sales leaders in the past who intuitively just seem to be able to get the forecast right. And everything they're doing and their years of experience is basically mathematical modeling. So I was reading an article today and they were saying, what is the best type of forecasting? And the best type of forecasting is when you don't have to forecast because all of the data is available in one place to make everything kind of more efficient, predictable.
Vernon, moving on to Clary, what problems does Clary solve?
There's got four main problems that Clary solves. One is data quality. Our customers tell us that reps don't update the CRM, but our view is that they simply can't because they don't have the tools in place to do it. Clary provides a tool that enables data quality to get significantly better. Sales productivity, generally an issue. Most people would agree that 40% of sales reps' time is wasted updating data quality, reviewing reports, not getting the information they need to help them close deals. So we enable reps to be more efficient. Okta would say that reps save 50% of their time updating Salesforce through Clary. Pipeline visibility. Today, it's very difficult for sales leaders to get an understanding into what has changed or where the risk is in their pipeline. Clary is the only company in the world that does the timestamp database, so we can see clearly what has changed. And with all of the data from timestamping every field, we have the best data to apply our machine learning to show where the risk is. And finally, forecast accuracy. By having a single platform for consistent sales execution, we dramatically increase forecast accuracy all the way through the process and much earlier in the quarter. Typically by week 3, we aim to know within a couple of percent what the forecast is for the quarter.
So let's get a bit deeper into some of the practical tools, applications that the Clary platform provides.
So Clary is one operations platform that anybody and everybody can access at any time. Individual users like reps can update their CRM system. Sales ops and managers can see pipeline that has changed. And finally, for senior sales leaders, they can see a machine learning view of the forecast, how it compares to the human roll-up of the forecast, and they can see where the risk is in their pipeline.
Data entry in CRM it's a hard problem to solve. How does Clary help?
3 key ways. The first one is we can automate the process of putting contacts and tasks into Salesforce against accounts or opportunities. The second way is by having one platform which every sales execution meeting is compiled in, so for example, one-to-ones, QBRs, forecast roll-ups, because you're looking at Clary, and Clary has a bi-directional real-time sync to Salesforce, everything can be updated very efficiently and quickly through Clary. And thirdly, for 3 years, we were mobile app only, which means that Clary is as easy to use on a mobile as it is the laptop. And so with that, people get notifications when meetings have been held and to say, can you fill in this content, etc. So the overall experience drives a significant increase in data quality.
Can you discuss some of the most popular integrations with other tools, other enterprise tools that companies use these days?
First of all, we have the bidirectional real-time sync to the CRM, but really you need to be able to see and juxtapose that information against other areas which we integrate with: email, calendar, anything content related, a high spot or a show pad, anything related to outreach, like an outreach or a sales loft, Gong or Chorus, which are the AI-driven meeting kind of inspection, and anything with Marketo, Eloqua, Pardot. So all of that information comes into one place. All of that data is timestamped, and all of that feeds the machine learning which drives visibility into pipeline risk and what the forecast is.
In what industries is Clary being used today, and what is the sweet spot in terms of clients that Clary has?
So the sweet spot are customers who open their business to business, and they open and close deals in their CRM system, and they have a complex sales process. And it might be a very varied sales process, from deals which open and close within a month to those that open and close within a couple of years. So that would be the sweet spot. Our customers fall into two buckets. The first is those that are very aggressive growth, that are going through their series of funding towards IPO, and they want good revenue forecast and good pipeline visibility into where the risk is. The other type of customers are those with very large sales force, but they want to have a very efficient, effective roll-up forecast process. And they desperately want their reps to be more productive and not spend all their time updating Salesforce, in which case, in some cases, can be 5 hours a week or so. And typically, at the moment, we're generally tech and expanding from that. So some financial services customers, for example.
Could you share some success stories and perhaps the benefits that the clients achieve or they talk about when they discuss Clary?
So recently, we were just talking about UiPath, one of the fastest growth B2B companies in the world. The type of benefits they see, first of all, is visibility into what the forecast is going to be much earlier in the quarter, and understanding where the risks are in the pipeline. So with that understanding, they can do something about it earlier in the quarter, both at a leader level, first line manager level, and a individual contributor level. It enables people not to be reactive, but to be proactive as well. And on top of that, the time savings, 50% time savings of reps updating Salesforce, managers no longer having to pull data and look for separate reports like push reports, etc. And benefits, for example, in sales operations time, where even this morning I was talking to a customer, downloads all the data from Salesforce every week, puts that in a Google Doc, and then does a VLOOKUP every week to see what has changed. All of that time is saved.
How do companies work with you? What does an implementation look like?
So implementation can take between 6 to 8 weeks. For Clary to get up and running with customers' data takes less than 24 hours. Then it's a matter of configuring Clary so it looks like and feels like a customer's business. And within that 4 to 6 weeks, we do the configuration. And when the configuration is complete, it's 40 minutes to train the reps, 40 minutes to train sales ops and leaders. Then we start the process of optimizing the revenue operations and forecasting process to bring it up to best in class and world class.
Vernon, final question. What changes in behavior you have seen among Clary users, sales professionals, sales managers in the past few months of lockdown and working from home? And which of these behaviors you think are here to stay?
I think that a lot of behaviors in sales in particular are driven by a restriction in the systems and processes that are currently in use today. So, for example, due to the pandemic, one area of Clary that we have seen in very high usage is the flow module, which shows you what has changed over time. Now, in traditional CRMs, it's very difficult to see what has changed over time because you just get a snapshot. Therefore, as a sales leader, you don't go and look at that information to see what has changed in the last 7 days, what has changed in the last month. When you have easy access to real-time, time-stamped information, then usage goes much, much higher because then you can understand what's changed in your business and you can redo your operating plan accordingly. So that's one area of analysis that is used much higher since the pandemic. Secondly is the visibility into what is going on in the business. People, now that more people are working from home, leaders want visibility into what people are doing, how effective it is. But at the same time, they don't want to ask people to do that manually. So there's an increased demand to automate the process of capturing data, capturing contacts, capturing activity into one place. So visibility will be the second. And third, I think at a macro level, there's a big movement towards a realization, an acceleration of inside sales to field sales. So perhaps field sales teams getting slightly smaller, inside sales teams getting slightly larger and getting more responsibility. So I think that's a bit of a macro trend that people are reviewing. And finally, we are seeing an acceleration of people's analysis and review of their sales tech stack. A number of customers are saying we implemented a CRM system 5 years ago, but there's been no investment in that area since then. So they're increasingly looking at what opportunities there are to change.
Vernon, this was great. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you. Thank you very much for your time.